and baseball, and we are glad that you are here with us, whether you're on Facebook or whether you're on Periscope on Twitter or on your Roku device on True Blue TV. Glad to have you with us wherever you may be. As we mentioned tonight, we are starting out with Blue Raiders softball, but first, before we get to that, we will take a look back at the week that was in Blue Raider athletics. So let's see what happened with Blue Raider baseball last weekend. Went to Bowling Green, and it was Western ending up getting a 3-1 series win. The Blue Raiders won on Friday, and then Western came back, and there you see the two games that were at the end of the series, the 6-4, and then a 3-1 game as Middle lost the series at Bowling Green. Softball was here at home. They took on Western Kentucky and got off to a great start on Friday, lost the first game on Saturday, and then coming back winning the second game of the doubleheader, and then took the game on Sunday and won 3 out of 4 against the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. All right, what's up next here? After softball, we have men's tennis. They were winners as they continue to have the longest winning streak at home in Division I tennis. They knocked off Georgia State 6-2. The tennis team was busting it over to the Queen City of Charlotte today as they get ready to begin the men's conference tennis tournament. Middle Tennessee Track and Field was at the War Eagle Invitational over the weekend down at Auburn, and all of the results of that are on GoBlueRaiders.com. Women's golf Conference USA Championships just completed today, and the Lady Raiders finish in a tie for second with Western Kentucky. North Texas wins it by 12 strokes, but Middle and Western tied for second. And the top finishers for the Blue Raiders, Sophie Burks, as you might expect, ended up at +1. Then you had the Caudill sisters, who finished in the top 30, and Middle Tennessee with a second place or a tie for second with Western Kentucky. So that's what we have as far as the headlines of scores. We do want to make one other mention. We lost a member of the Blue Raider family this past week, and that was Jedarius Hamlin, former offensive lineman for Middle Tennessee. He was tragically killed in a car wreck Sunday night into Monday morning along Interstate 24. And he was a big man with a big heart who had always had a smile on his face. He was a part of the Sun Belt All-Freshman team in 2010 and had a very productive career here with the Blue Raiders. So our thoughts are with Jedarius Hamlin and his family as we mourn the loss of one of the members of our Blue Raider family. All right, let's turn to our first guest of the night as we talk Blue Raider softball, as Middle Tennessee came off of the weekend with the 3-1 victory series win over Western Kentucky. Right now, Middle Tennessee is 2 games behind Charlotte for first place in Conference USA East. The Raiders play preseasons 5 and 6 in the division to end the season, while Charlotte will have to play the 1 and 2 teams that were predicted to end the season. So it's going to be pretty interesting here. All Conference USA teams play their division only this year. No cross-divisional matchups. The Blue Raiders will visit Florida Atlantic this weekend for a 4-game set and will end the season at home May 7 through 9 against FIU. Want to welcome in to my left, Coach Jeff Breeden, now in his 9th season with the Blue Raiders. Jeff, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Chip. Thanks for having us on.
Good deal. And the rose among thorns here is we want to welcome in with us tonight is I've got your name here. You're Summer Burgess. Why did I go blank on you? I've seen you for 5 years around here. But Summer, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good deal. All right, let's talk about where we are. And Jeff, it's kind of interesting as we talk about you've got 4 games left in the conference series, or 2 series left against 2 teams, 4 games each weekend. You play teams that are 5 and 6 right now in the standings, while Charlotte is going to have to play the preseason 1 and 2, or how it worked out. But that means nothing once you really get out there. But your team is playing some of its best softball of the year. That's what's important.
Yeah, and we are playing very good right now. I mean, we're playing a bunch of 1-run games or 2-run games, and like we said earlier, they're all coming down to the wire, and we're having to, we've walked off 8 times this year so far. And so our kids, they believe in what we're doing. And yeah, theoretically, we're playing the 5 and 6, seeds in the preseason. But like you said, that has nothing to do with it. We got to bring the same amount of energy that we brought the last 2 weekends with Marshall and Western Kentucky. We got to take that with us down to FAU and then bring it back home against FIU and just take care of business and let all these games play out. We're playing a 4-game series, and that 4th game, we've always played 3-game series on the weekend, and that 4th game is really taxing. Everybody's pitching out, and you don't know what's going to happen on Sunday because everybody's used all their pitching up on the doubleheader on Saturday, and so, who knows what the games are going to be like. I mean, FAU and Marshall, they played a bunch of 1-run games last weekend, so you just got to go down there and play your best.
Yeah, and you've played 8 extra inning games, so you add to 4 games. You 4 games every weekend. You've got all these extra inning games that you're having to play, and that gives you more opportunities for walk-offs, like you said.
Yeah, it does, and I mean, but it taxes our pitching staff out, and it's a good thing we got several pitchers that are doing really good. But 4 games over a 3-day period, it's a lot of ball.
Now, Summer, you are in your 5th year here as a grad student. Number one, why did you choose to come back this year?
Because I love playing softball for Mtsu, especially Coach Breeden, and me and my best friend Lexi got to come back and play together again. And I wasn't finished. We didn't get to finish what we started 4 years ago. So,
Tell you guys have we had the conference championship a few years ago, and then we've kind of reloaded, rebuilt, and every year we've kind of gotten better. This year, I think you look at this team and look at what the potential upside for this group is with a conference tournament coming up, which will be in Bowling Green. I think this team has got to be one of the teams that's going to be, picked to, be right there when it's all over.
yeah, I'd have to agree with that. When we go on conference back in 2018, I would think these past 2 weekends are the closest thing I've ever felt to getting back to where we were with that team back in 2018. So it's really exciting to see us all come together finally and do what we know that we can do.
Yep, Jeff, the ballpark has been upgraded for this year. I mean, there's been pieces, here you had the hitting facility, you've had different things, but boy, some major, new looks to the place this year, more fan amenities. What has that meant to your players, and also to have people actually sitting out there and being able to watch you?
Well, I mean, it's going to the new stadium is going to do tremendous things for us in the recruiting department, and we're thankful that the university and we had some donors that stepped up and felt like that's what needed to happen, and it did, and our kids appreciate all the money that's been spent, not just this year, but the video board, the padded walls, the stadium, it all adds up, and we have a good for the first time in my tenure here, I think we have a true home field advantage. And we've worked extremely hard to get that, and we're not willing to give that up. So I think our kids, for the first time since I've been here, our kids want to come and play at home because they enjoy the fans, they enjoy what you see visually, and they give everything they got.
Yeah, it has a great look. I mean, the original stadium was kind of put together to get the program started, and then there have been upgrades along the way, like you said. But right now, some major pieces have happened over the last 2 or 3 years. Summer, kind of turn the clock back a little bit to last March. How many games had you guys gotten in?
I think 23 or something like that.
Something like that, because you all start right in the middle to 3rd week of February, right in there.
Yeah.
What was it like as a student athlete to basically have the rug pulled out, especially because you were going through your senior year? And I would imagine, like you said, there was some unfinished business that you wanted to come back and experience a true senior season as a grad student now. But was there just being unfulfilled last year, and was there a level of being scared? What in the world is going on?
Yeah, it was really hard just to try to figure out what we were going to do. It didn't feel real at first, like it was a joke. And then, I graduated with my undergrad degree, and then I have to think about coming back and getting into grad school, which I hadn't even thought about that prior to that. So it's like you just had to rearrange like the plan you thought you had and just go with it, because softball is my #1 priority, and that's what I wanted to come back and do.
Yep. Now you're very close to getting a graduate degree, and that's going to be in what?
Public health.
Public health. Well, there's not a better time, I guess, to be part of going into public health than right now. Jeff, as you look at this team and when you put it together, I mean, every coach has a way they like to play. And does this team play the style that you like to play? Because I look at what you do. You use a ton of speed. You guys lead the league in hits with 290. You lead the league in sacrifice bunts with 36. That's a thing right there that shows me unselfishness within your team. Stolen bases with 58. Fielding percentage, so defense, speed. You've got 332 assists. You've had 832 putouts. All of those are number one in Conference USA.
I think that I'm kind of old school when it comes to, I mean, everybody in Power 5 wants to hit bombs, and everybody wants to, have a million home runs. And home runs are great. Don't get me wrong. I love a 3-run home run when we're hitting it. And but we're not kind of we're not built that way. I like steal bases. I like hit and run. I don't mind sacrifice bunting. Just whenever we squeeze a lot, we play a high energy style game. And I just believe for us to win that we got to have good pitching, we got to play great defense, and we got to have timely hitting. And if you do those three things, then you're going to have a shot at the end, and that's the way we're playing right now. And we do have kids that are not selfish. Our big hitters, Lexi De La Cruz, we've talked to them about. I don't even look at their batting average. I don't look at their on base percentage. I look at one thing with them: are you driving RBIs in? That's all you got to do. If you're power for us, just drive RBIs. I don't care if you bat 0, and every time up you hit a sacrifice fly ball that scores a run from third, then you're okay. You're in the lineup. I just need RBI producers out of them. So we play up tempo, fast, and hope we get a bomb every now and then.
Yeah, you talked about pitching this year and how with 4-game weekend series, it really becomes a priority. You knew you had Amber Baldwin coming back. She's got 14 starts now. Are you getting more out of Corinna Dodd than you had expected? Has that been a pleasant surprise, or did you expect her to go out there, get 12 starts, and be a pitcher of the week twice and have a 2.43 ERA?
Well, you never know how it's going to go, of course. But now Corinna, as a freshman, had 10 wins. So we knew that she had that type stuff in her. And I don't think she's had but one bad outing all year long. But she's, last weekend she was dominant. And then the weekend before against Marshall, Amber's dominant. And then we got Kaylee Alstrom that has turned it now into a closer. She's a left-handed kid that throws a lot of movement. So we're getting a good combination with either when we start Amber or Corinna and follow up with Alstrom to come and close the game. And so that's kind of the combination that's been working for us right now. We've had Gretchen Mead, who's had good outings. We've had Danielle Tate, who's a freshman that has come in at times when we just needed her to throw one ground ball, just get us a ground ball out. And she's been able to do that. So all of our pitchers are they're performing right now.
Well, we've got Summer here, who's a grad student, and as you mentioned, your best friend Lexi is back with you this year. We've got some video of Summer. So Jeff, if you would just take a look at the video of Summer Burgess and tell us what we're seeing and tell us what kind of player she's been for you. She's been a program player.
She's an amazing player. Summer is the epitome of a student athlete for us. She plays with high amount of energy, as you can tell in that clip right there. She talks to her teammates all the time. She's a slapper, but she's a power slapper from the left side. So, she's had one home run in her career, but, she beats out singles in the infield. She hits a whole bunch of doubles. She steals a lot of bases right there. She's not got the best speed in the world, but she's a great base runner and steals a lot of bases. And she gets in the rundown right here against Marshall, makes a big play for us right there. She's always around the ball. Hustler, right here. That play ends the Marshall series right there, and we win the game on that play right there. So that's in the Western series right there on a hustle play right there that probably should have been a single, and she ends up getting a double out of it. So just a great player all the way around. She's kind of the glue that if you say, what does she bring to you? She's the glue that gets us going. She's our spark plug, and she's the glue that holds us together.
Yep. Get them on, get them around, get them in, and as tell folks you know, and I'm sure there's a lot of young ladies who may be watching that know about the difference between a normal hitting style and a slapper. How long does it take to develop to be a good slapper? And because he said you didn't have the best speed, but you have good speed, not maybe the greatest speed. Does that help you that you're already a step or two toward first?
Yeah. I'm not your typical slapper because a lot of them are touch and go. Like we have Jaya on our team, like she can just touch it and she takes off towards first and she's there every time. So I had to learn how to put a little more power behind it because I had to make up for not being as fast as most slappers are. But yeah, so I like to hit it to the outfield more so often than hitting infield singles.
Yeah, and with what he was talking about as far as being able to do things and playing what may be termed small ball instead of, you know, the big boppers, is that a super fun style of play, especially with the way that this team is put together?
Oh yeah, it puts pressure on people's defense and it makes things happen that maybe not normally would happen if you're just hitting straight up. So.
Yeah. And with the way you know that a softball field, the dimensions are, things happen super fast.
Yeah.
You know, all at one time. Tell folks here you were from Delray Beach, Florida, and you had to pass a lot of different schools with softball programs on your way to Murfreesboro. What was it that said, "Yep, that's where I want to come"?
So I really wanted to go away for school, for college, and I just really liked the coaches. And when I met the girls on the team, they were just super nice, and it just felt like home. Like Murfreesboro is kind of like Delray. I mean, we don't have the beach right down the street, but it just didn't feel that too big of a change for me, and it just felt like home.
No palm trees here.
No.
So now that you are getting ready to enter a different phase of your life once you graduate in health sciences, what do you want to do with that?
I'm not exactly sure yet. I'm actually working in the health center right now, checking people in for vaccinations and stuff.
Oh, are you here on campus?
Yeah, in the health center, and they have the health promotion office over there, and I've been talking to them a lot about stuff like that, just promoting health. My undergrad's in exercise science, so I'm really interested in like nutrition and exercise and all that stuff, so I want to use it like that. Gotcha.
We talked about a lot of stats, but Matt Posey from the Athletic Communication Office says one of your favorite stats that you self-proclaim is that Middle has the best bench hype in the league.
They do. I'll go as far to say that we have the best bench hype in America in Division I softball. Because what you're seeing right here out of Danielle Tate and out of Meade. And
they're the leaders.
Yes.
Yeah, they're the leaders of the pack. And then we got props out there. You know, everybody's going to have a cap on or a hat on, a cowboy hat. I don't know what all they come with. We got fedoras out there, a little bit of everything. And we got, we got our mascots, the horse, the Pegasus or whatever it is.
Lightning.
We got lightning. We got a brown lightning, and we got a lightning that's got pink hair, got a pink mane on it that makes it to our dugout.
Kind of a My Little Pony look to him.
Yeah.
If you come out to our place, you get entertainment value. Now, you just don't get a 7-inning softball game, okay? You get entertainment value, and you can't go buy a Coke or anything or Pepsi or anything, because you got to watch what's going on in our dugout. So.
Yep, and especially before the game, because it all reaches a crescendo when what song is played.
Copperhead Road.
Exactly. And who gets credit for that? Does Morgan get the original credit for getting that going?
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah.
Morgan Harris.
So kind of give us a scouting report on what we got left, Jeff, the last two series.
FAU 4 down there this weekend. We got a weekend off after that, and then we got FIU back here for Senior Day. We're going to bring all the seniors from last year back on Saturday, and then we're going to bring this year's seniors to be their day on Sunday. But that's kind of what we got left. We got, we're sitting good. I mean, we positioned ourselves well in the conference at the moment. We just got to keep taking care of business. Everybody's got good pitching. Our conference is very, very uniform all the way throughout it. Everybody's good. It doesn't matter what the record is. So we just got to go take care of business. Keep it.
All right, we're going to take a quick break and be back with a final segment with our softball guest tonight. And we're going to play a little game with them when we return. You're watching the Spring Sports Show presented by Kroger. The Blue Raiders Spring Sports Show is brought to you in part by the Daily News Journal. Read all about Blue Raiders sports in the D&J, Rutherford County's first source for news, sports, and much more. By Lewis Bakeries, bakers of Bunny, Sunbeam, and Healthy Life breads. By Grannis & Associates, certified public accountants specializing in business and personal accounting and tax services. And by Lee Company. For your heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical, Lee Company is the team to call. The Spring Sports Show is brought to you in part by Tri-Green Equipment, your John Deere dealer for Middle Tennessee and North Alabama. By InterSource. If it's entertainment, it's InterSource. By MTSU, named one of the best in the U.S. by the Princeton Review for a second year in a row. Become True Blue. By R.J. Young, your go-to company for technology solutions that power your business. By Textbook Brokers and Lightning's Locker Room, the official game day provider powered by Textbook Brokers. And by State Farm agent Bud Morris. The Spring Sports Show is brought to you in part by Ascension St. Thomas, the official hospital partner of MTSU. By Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates, the #1 producing Exit Realty office in the United States. By Middle Tennessee Electric, your locally owned electric cooperative and trusted energy advisor. By the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, fans don't let fans drive drunk. By TOA, the official orthopedic coverage to Middle Tennessee Athletics. And by Roscoe Brown, the trusted name in heating, cooling, and plumbing.
Murfreesboro Medical Clinic is proud to be the official medical group of MTSU Athletics. We all win big when we work as a team for better health. Just like MTSU's athletes and coaches, our healthcare professionals work tirelessly to make our community proud. At MMC, we really are true blue. MTSU is our hometown team, and your health is our mission. Visit mmclinic.com or call us at 615-893-4480.
Welcome back into our Spring Sports Show presented by Kroger. Chip Walters here with you, and tonight we are talking our Diamond Sports. First of all, in our first half of the show, it is Lady Raiders softball with Coach Jeff Breeden and also with grad student Summer Burgess here. And Jeff, I kind of want to go into talking about some of your individual players. We talked about Summer and what she's brought to the table. And Lexi returned this year as a grad student, and she is, Lexi is a big personality on your ball club and really a good leader.
She is. I mean, she owns our career record in home runs and career record in RBIs, and is fun to be around. Has played really good at first base for us. She came into us as being a free swinger and all that stuff, and has matured into a very good player for us in her 5 years that she's been here.
Now, one of the stats that I just think is amazing that Summer has. What stat of yours are you most proud of? And I'll see if it's the one that I'm thinking about.
For this season?
For your career.
My on-base percentage or walks or something?
No, that's not the one.
You started.
Oh, start.
You started 236 straight games. Wow, that's pretty impressive. Talk to me about De La Cruz, because she has been, part of the fire between a lot of these walk-offs that you've had this year.
De La Cruz has a lot of energy about her too. She plays the game hard, hustles a lot. De La Cruz is a person who can have, if you really pay attention to her, she can have the most horrible-looking swing in the world, maybe two in a row, and then hit one just on the screws. I mean, she has her conscience. She doesn't have a conscience. She just, nothing gets her down. She just goes, and she overcomes a lot of stuff and plays good defense for us. I mean, she takes a lot of balls out of the 5-6 hole and helps Summer out with some plays that are just amazing sometimes.
I'll tell you what, it's great to have some grad students who really give your ball club some maturity and provide that leadership. Your young players have really been coming through. Your 2020 recruiting class was listed as the best in Conference USA by Extra Innings Softball, and that class has made an immediate impact this year. Yeah,
we've got Tay Sleezak is playing. She's actually a shortstop, but she's playing right field for us and starting a bunch of games and batting in the 9 spot for us. She's doing a good job. Got a lot of speed. She's a little bitty girl, and but she's got some power at the plate. She's doing a great job for us. We've had Danielle Tate, like I said earlier, that has done some good things for us in the pitching circle. We've got Amaya Harris, who's had some starts in the outfield, is also a second baseman that's had some weekends that she's really swung the bat well for us. So, and we've got Mackenzie Hutchinson. She actually started catching for us as the very first weekend out. She's got a shoulder injury, and so she's our designated player right now. She's hitting the ball well for us. She's had a walk-off home run and some more stuff for us. So we've got a lot of freshmen that are really doing good. And we've got, I mean, we talked about earlier before the show came on, Kelsey Hill, our center fielder. You know, she's basically she's going to get an extra year of eligibility because of last year, and we're definitely going to be keeping her around because I mean she's leading us in most statistical categories offensively, and is in the top 3 in most of the categories with in Conference USA. As you look at those, she's having a phenomenal season for us. I mean, she's hitting about 400 and just doing great things for us. So I mean, we got a lot of people. Lonnie Rodriguez is playing second base for us, and Lonnie is not. If you look at her statistically offensively, it looks like she's not doing very well. But, man, she's hitting the ball on the nose and getting robbed a few times. But she's playing defense as good as I've ever seen anybody play defense in ever. Because, I mean, she's got it. I mean, she can go to her right at second base and get balls up the middle and throw from her knees, do whatever. She's doing a real good job. So we run the whole gamut. We got freshmen that are producing all the way up through Summer and Lexi as graduate students that are producing right now for us.
Summer, you got 2 weeks left and then the tournament. Are you seeing, you know, I know you want to prolong this as long as possible, you and Lexi both. What does this team have to do? What do you need to get better at to make that happen for you guys?
We just got to keep doing what we're doing. We have to treat FAU and FIU just like we did Marshall and WKU. Keep hitting. Like he said, timely hitting is very important. Our pitchers keep keeping us in the game like they have been, and just play defense like we do every single day at practice. All
right. It's going to be fun, and it's going to be an opportunity, hopefully, for fans to come up to Bowling Green and see you guys play in the tournament. Okay, what's the name of our game tonight? It is How Well Do You Know MTSU Softball? So, Jeff and Summer, let's take a look here. First question out of the box. What are the distances to the left, center, and right field walls of the softball field?
I know it. You know it?
200.
200 down the line.
Yeah, and then 210 in the middle?
220.
220, 200, 220, 200.
That's close.
Observatory Park. That's what I like to call that place over there. So, okay, there's the first question. Next up, when was the first season of Blue Raiders softball? You know that? Were you alive,
No.
Summer?
1991.
This team is 29. Is team 29?
29.
This team is 29. So whatever,
I was right.
Whatever 29 back
No.
is.
So that would be 92
I was close.
or 93.
93.
Yep. There you go. So team 29 had. Okay, what's up next? How many coaches preceded Coach Breeden at Middle Tennessee? How many?
3.
No, it's more than that. I think it's either 6 or 7.
Okay. I'm trying to think who I'm missing here.
no idea.
4.
4.
I was close.
Okay.
So there you go. Coach Karen Green started the program and won an OVC championship here. And a couple more. What's up next? When was the last time MTSU had a no-hitter, and who was it?
Is it?
It's probably, you don't have to look back too far.
I don't know if anybody has done it since Corey Jennings against FIU in the conference tournament.
I think that's when it was too.
So let's see.
Yep.
I'm telling you,
Never
y'all are
forget
doing
that
much
one.
better than tennis last week. So,
You can't
so
forget
just
that
telling you
one.
that. All right, last one. Who's the MTSU softball all-time hits leader?
Me.
Let's see if that's correct. There you go. How about that? So congratulations. So
Thank you.
you've started more games than anybody. You've had more hits than anybody. I would say that put it in my calendar for about 10 years from now that you may be getting a call for the Blue Raider Hall of Fame. I would say you're right. She's one of the elite all time that's ever been here.
Oh, there's no question in my mind about that.
So
No question.
anyway, well, congratulations on a great career.
Thank you.
And I hope it lasts as long as you guys can make it last.
Oh, yeah.
Good luck in Florida this week against FAU, and then FIU for senior weekend, and then just go cause all kinds of havoc in Bowling Green. All right?
The plan.
Jeff, thanks a lot.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank
All right, Jeff Breeden, Summer Burgess here. Thank you as well. As we talk Blue Raiders softball, we'll take a timeout and we will switch gears and move over to Reese Smith Field, and we'll talk Blue Raider baseball with Coach Jim Toman and Aaron Brown right after this on the Blue Raider Network and our Spring Sports Show presented by Kroger. The Blue Raiders Spring Sports Show is brought to you in part by the Daily News Journal. Read all about Blue Raiders sports in the D&J, Rutherford County's first source for news, sports, and much more. By Lewis Bakeries, bakers of Bunny, Sunbeam, and Healthy Life breads. By Grannis & Associates, certified public accountants specializing in business and personal accounting and tax services. And by Lee Company. For your heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical, Lee Company is the team to call. The Spring Sports Show is brought to you in part by Tri-Green Equipment, your John Deere dealer for Middle Tennessee and North Alabama. By InterSource. If it's entertainment, it's InterSource. By MTSU, named one of the best in the U.S. by the Princeton Review for a second year in a row. Become True Blue. By R.J. Young, your go-to company for technology solutions that power your business. By Textbook Brokers and Lightning's Locker Room, the official game day provider powered by Textbook Brokers. And by State Farm agent Bud Morris. The Spring Sports Show is brought to you in part by Ascension St. Thomas, the official hospital partner of MTSU. By Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates, the #1 producing Exit Realty office in the United States. By Middle Tennessee Electric, your locally owned electric cooperative and trusted energy advisor. By the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, fans don't let fans drive drunk. By TOA, the official orthopedic coverage to Middle Tennessee Athletics. And by Roscoe Brown, the trusted name in heating, cooling, and plumbing. Welcome back into our Spring Sports Show. Chip Walters here. Our Spring Sports Show is presented by Kroger. And time now to move across campus from the Lady Raider softball field over to Reese Smith Jr. Field. And we talk Blue Raider baseball. And glad to have Coach Jim Toman with us along with Aaron Brown, the Blue Raiders starter. And right off the bat, I got to fall on the sword here, Jim. I made a mistake earlier, and you called me on it.
That's the only mistake I've ever seen you make before.
Well, and it was last weekend. It was 2-2 with Western Kentucky. You guys won the first two games. They got those guys won the second two games.
Yeah.
And coaches are always psychologists a little bit. And Aaron, by the way, how are you doing?
Doing good.
Good. Pride of Mount Juliet, Tennessee, right there.
Sure.
From a psychological standpoint, if you knew going into a weekend you were going to split 2-2, would you rather win the first two or the last two or the middle two, or does it even matter?
Well, I would want to win the last two because all I remember is the last two games we played and we lost. But we were up 2-0. We were playing pretty darn well, and we just didn't get it done the last two games. Western threw a couple good pitchers, and we didn't get it done. But like you said, in the grand old scheme of things, it's 2-2. We split on the road in Conference USA, and that's probably, pretty good.
Yeah, and we'll talk a little bit about the makeup of the seasons. And Jeff talked about it with softball, and it's been the same with baseball with 4-game weekend series. But I wanted to talk to Aaron just a little bit about coming into this year. I think this team had some really good feelings about what the makeup was. You guys, came off the crazy summer last year, had a good fall, had a big roster, felt like you're pretty deep, with putting the starters together. Kind of tell me your thoughts, is because you were looking at it from the inside, and what were your thoughts about this team as things got underway?
Well, no, a lot of guys were looking forward to getting back to campus after everything got shut down last spring, and I mean, we got great players on the team. That goes hitting and pitching side of things. And then this fall, probably one of the best falls I've ever been a part of in college. And I mean, we went out every single day getting after it and played some of the best baseball I've ever seen against each other. And then we were just looking forward to playing somebody else, and it's translated over and it's rolling. So,
Jim, talk a little bit about how you put this team together and what a challenge roster management is these days.
Yeah, well, COVID has changed a lot of things in college baseball, and we haven't been on the road for a year recruiting. So right now we're recruiting 2021, 22, 23, and 24 classes, and it's all on Twitter or video because we're not allowed out yet. Now, hopefully June 1st, we might be able to get on the road again when the NCAA allows us to, they will stop the dead period. But the guys that are playing right now, our first year here that I was here 2 years ago, we signed like 25 new players. So really 90% of the players on our team right now are from that class, a big class. And we decided to sign a ton of guys that year and a lot of good players. And we were off to a pretty good start last year, and then COVID hit. And so our guys only got to play 17 games last year, so a lot of them, even though they're older, they haven't played much of Division I baseball yet, because last year we missed 40 games, and then they missed the entire summer and didn't get to play because of COVID, and then we were shut down a little bit in the fall. So COVID had a big effect on, and I think right now our guys are starting to hit a stride. Our hitters are swinging the bats better. Our pitching has been tremendous, and our defense has been pretty good. And I think the hitters are a little slow catching up because they didn't get to see a whole lot of live pitching in the last year and a half. They haven't been playing because of COVID. We need to finish strong, and the guys have a good positive attitude, and they're working hard, and we're looking forward to the next. We've got 4 more weekend series at 4 games each weekend.
Well, and that's, this is a great week to talk about where we are, because we're at the midpoint of the conference race. You've got 4 series left, 3 of them right here in your own ballpark, and you go to play at Southern Miss, which they're hot as a firecracker right now, and they're one of the really elite programs in this league as well that has been right there toward the top. But next 2 weekends, this is an opportunity these next 2 weeks to really make some hay, with UAB coming in this weekend and Louisiana Tech the following week. So, Aaron, what's your thoughts on where things stand as far as the conference race goes?
I mean, I think we're right there in the race with it. I mean, we're fighting every day. I think this week's practice has been one of the best. The pitchers are throwing great bullpens. The hitters are swinging it well, even last week. I mean, we just got to go out there and play our game that I know we can play. It's just one inning busted open, and then there we are. We're winning a game. It just takes one guy to start it, and it just feeds off that.
Yep, you've got to like the way that the schedule sets up for you going in, because not only do you have the 3 conference series, you've got a 2-game series with Wright State at the end. So what is that? That's 14 out of your next 17 or 18 games are going to be at home leading into the tournament.
Yeah, we haven't been at home much lately, and this weekend we play UAB. We played them at UAB, and we went 2-2. So we need to at least go 2-2 or try to win the series. 3 out of 4, and then Louisiana Tech and Southern Miss are 2 of the top programs in the league, and then we finished the Conference USA season with FIU at home. So we have our work cut out for us, but all year long we've had a lot of close games. And our pitching and defense have kept us in some games. We need to hit a little bit better, and I think the guys are, now that the weather is warming up and the guys have had some at-bats underneath their belt. So I think we're going to start hitting a little bit better, which we need to do if we're going to win some of them close games. But all year long, we don't feel like we're doing as well as we need to do. And I keep looking at the standings, and we're either 4th, 5th, or 6th out of the 12 teams. And I'm thinking if we won 3 or 4 of them close games, we'd be 3rd or 4th right now. Well, I think we're 5th or maybe 6th right now out of the 12 teams, which is okay.
Right.
But we just win a couple of close ones, and we could be way up there right now.
And you guys have had some tough luck, especially in extra innings a couple of times this year. And you've had to – sometimes they've been like like in the first game of a doubleheader on those 7-inning games. The best part about that is you get to go right back out and get that out of your mind. So how does this team handle adversity when it's thrown their way?
I mean, I think we handle it well. I mean, it's just like Coach Tillman says after a game. If say we end up losing a game, it's just clear it and get back out there and play their best baseball.
Now, you talk pitching, and I want to talk about pitching a little bit, and especially with this guy. Aaron Brown is tied for 4th in the NCAA with 79 strikeouts this year. He struck out double-digit batters 4 times this season. He's also number 21 in the country in strikeout-to-walk ratio, 79 strikeouts, 10 walks. He's one of 4 pitchers in the top 50 with 70 or more strikeouts and 10 or less walks. And when you got here, one of the real primary things you wanted from your pitchers was to cut down on walks, cut down on hit batsmen, and don't give up free bases.
Absolutely, and we brought in a really veteran pitching coach, and the first thing that we wanted to address is that we're going to throw strikes from day one. And we were lucky to get this guy. This guy was at one of the top programs in the country in Vanderbilt, and he pitched, I think, 17, 18, maybe 20 innings as a freshman, which not too many freshmen do that at Vanderbilt. He decided to go the junior college route and went down to State College of Florida, which I'm happy he went down there. He actually, I think he led the state of Florida JUCOs in strikeouts, had over 100 strikeouts down there. So we knew what we were getting here, and he's only 45 minutes away. So it was big to get a guy like this in the program that's been at a high level at Vanderbilt, was at one of the best JUCOs in Florida, and now he's, he's 5-2 right now with 79 strikeouts, and I think he's in the top 5 in the country in strikeouts. So we're glad he's on our side, and he's going to keep getting better, and he's really a good student athlete, and he's a captain, and this guy doesn't come along too often when you got a guy that's a good student and a good teammate, and also obviously our top pitcher right now.
Yeah, and he's a big cat too. He's sitting down right now, but if you see him walk on the mound, and the thing that is really impressive is that you understand your body. You understand you're a big guy and can use your legs and all of that, but you are tiny compared to your pitching coach when he comes out to the mound to talk to you a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
What is it like to see Kyle Bunn come out and take 5 minutes to walk from the dugout to the mound? Because he doesn't come real fast.
No, he lets you think about what you've done, and I mean, when he comes out there, he's got a purpose for it, and you already know what, most likely you know what he's going to say, and he just wants to get out there and give you a breather and just kind of slow the pace of things down and then get right back to it.
I mean, and good pitching coaches are really good at refocusing guys, right?
Absolutely.
Yep. And Kyle, coming from where he was at Indiana before he came here, what has he done when you look at how he works with you guys and the bullpen and all that? Because this whole team, as a ball club, right now we're looking at 300 strikeouts, only 79 walks for the whole team. Is that pounded as a priority every day?
I mean, it's almost like the staff alone expects it, and he expects it from us. And we just go out there every single day during catch play, focused on every single throw. And then we have our time to cut up and stuff, but when it's our time out there on the field, we know what we got to do to get better.
Now, when you put your weekend starters together, Aaron was right there, Zach Keenan was right there, Wiggy was right there, Peyton Wigington out of Williamson County, and you kind of searched and found that 4th weekend starter. Is that close to how it kind of came together?
Yeah, well, we had the whole fall to figure it out, and we knew going in that we had some strike throwers and some guys that had some experience, and we needed to find a 4th guy, and Trent Siebert has been good, and then David Zaz has been really good in relief for us, and we've had 2 or 3 guys that have stepped up, and we've got a pretty deep pitching staff right now, and they, for the most part, they've kept us in almost every single game. We had one game where we kind of got out of control. But for the most part, them guys have been really good, and they've kept us in games. When we start hitting a little bit, we're going to be really good.
Yeah, what about some of those younger arms that I mean, you look at the stat sheet, you see Jaden Ham has had some good starts. Eric Swan had a chance to see his first appearance up in Clarksville that night. But these guys, you try to work them in. Is it hard that here you go for almost 2 months without a midweek game to be able to do any experimenting?
Yeah, well, we had to, because of COVID, we had to go to 8 weekends and 4 games a weekend, and I don't think there's any coaches that like that because it's you don't get to play the midweek games nearly as much. We've only had a couple midweek games, and usually that's when you let your young hitters and your young pitchers get their feet wet, and that's how they get better. So we're hoping next year we go back to the normal 10 weekends, 3 games a week, 30 games in Conference USA. That way, every Tuesday or Wednesday, or Tuesday and Wednesday, we get them midweek games. And that's when the younger guys get better. The hitters get more at-bats. The younger players get more at-bats. They get more playing time. And the young arms you can throw in the midweek, and they get experience. Well, right now, we're throwing them in the fire in Conference USA, and they don't get to pitch in the midweek. So hopefully next year, when we get things a little bit more back to normal without, hopefully COVID will be out of here by then, and we'll get back to playing some good midweek games.
Aaron, you grew up around here in Mount Juliet. You played, probably on every field between Cookeville and Waverly.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what the college baseball is like around here.
Sure.
It's very, very strong. And do you miss some of the midweek games that we're missing this year? Because you probably got guys that you played summer ball with, high school with, that are, some of the games that could not be on the schedule this year because of that.
Definitely. I mean, I got guys that play at every school in the state of Tennessee, and I mean, most of the time we're out there playing them during the midweeks like we were supposed to last year. And I mean, it's hard not getting to go out there and see them and then play against them and stuff like that, because you enjoy seeing them play against you and stuff like that. But I do miss it, but it's how things are going right now for us.
I mean, you almost play. It's almost like a major league schedule now, because I mean everything is against, your own conference and all of that. Do you, like Coach said, there have been so many close games. I think about, the first game of the doubleheader against Rice. You had some tough luck things that have happened, which probably cost us a couple of wins in there. But are you pretty confident about how this team is going into this second half of the conference race?
For sure. I mean, it even goes back to the fall. We've had, like, our fall World Series, we have, I think, 2 walk-offs, and it comes down to the wire. I mean, Medlin strikes out 12 in a row, and then that team ends up winning. It's just, I feel like we're in it every single at-bat and every single pitch. It's just, like you said, the younger guys come out, Ham and Swan, and they compete every pitch. We got guys that pinch hit, and they come in and produce hits. I mean, it's just anybody can make a play at any time, and I love this team. So.
Yeah, well, and this pitching staff, as Coach mentioned, is super strong. Let's flip the page and go to the offensive side, Jim, and talk about some of those guys, because you got a couple of really good table setters right at the top of your lineup that really also is a great double play combination defensively.
Yeah, I think we had a slow start offensively. I mean, you can look at the numbers, but Fausto Lopez and JT Mabry have been pretty consistent in the 1 and 2 holes, and Cole Escher's hitting .340. Now, he wasn't able to play against Western. He has a thigh sprain. Hopefully he'll be able to play this weekend against UAB. And then we've had some guys as of late, start hitting a little bit better. I mean, Hunter Sullivan is up to .320, and Jacob Williams got in the lineup against Western Kentucky and swung it really well, hit a home run to dead center, and showed some power. So we're seeing glimpses of guys being pretty good offensively, and I really think I think we're going to get it going a little bit more. And all we need is 1 or 2 extra hits, and if we win them 6 or 7 games that we lost by 1 run, our record would be tremendous right now. I mean, we're 18 and 16, and we're not where we need to be, but I'm thinking we're really, really close to getting this thing right. And if the pitcher can keep pitching well and the defense keeps up, and we just get a little bit better at hitting, which I think we're doing. Coach Hunt's working extremely hard with the guys, and I can see it. So we're very positive that we're going to start, I tell them let's hit for about a half hour every inning,
So you're kind of a Pedro Serrano believer
There
in
you
that
go.
warm weather leads to warm bats
There you
and
go.
makes them happy, right?
I really feel like we've got some good hitters, and they haven't done as well. Now, it's kind of a trend in Major League Baseball. I mean, just a year and a half ago, I think they had for the first time more strikeouts than hits. So it goes
really?
from the major leagues down to minor leagues to college to high school, and there's just guys. There's a lot of big, strong pitchers throwing 95, and there's guys striking out a little bit more, and the averages are down across the country. Now, we need to hit better and have a better two-strike approach, and we've really been working hard at that. So I'm looking forward to the next 20 games and seeing what we can do.
Aaron, the season was shortened last year,
Sure.
but he just touched on it that there was no summer leagues, no wood bat leagues.
Sure.
Let's play the balance.
Sure.
You know, you gain a lot of experience doing that, but you guys are playing year round now. Did you kind of look at, okay, what positive can I pull out of that, and that be, okay, maybe I'm fresher going into the fall. I don't know. You tell me. What did that mean to not have summer ball last year?
Well, it was kind of a sit back and kind of open your eyes a little bit on. I mean, we turned the bus around, headed to go play La Tech, I believe, and headed back and got to hang your jersey up, and then you go home and you just kind of sit there and you're like, well, now what? But I just did a throwing program. And just would do it at the end of the night and then work out and then would continue that every single day. And then it just led into the fall, and I just continued to work every single day. And I knew that's what I had to do to get where I am now.
Yeah. Well, we need to take a quick break as we head down the stretch of the Spring Sports Show here tonight. We're talking Blue Raider baseball with Aaron Brown and Coach Jim Toman. We're going to talk roster management, and also we'll play our game and tell you what's up in the week ahead when we return. Spring Sports Show presented by Kroger. The Blue Raiders Spring Sports Show is brought to you in part by the Daily News Journal. Read all about Blue Raiders sports in the D&J, Rutherford County's first source for news, sports, and much more. By Lewis Bakeries, bakers of Bunny, Sunbeam, and Healthy Life breads. By Grannis & Associates, certified public accountants specializing in business and personal accounting and tax services. And by Lee Company. For your heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical, Lee Company is the team to call. The Spring Sports Show is brought to you in part by Tri-Green Equipment, your John Deere dealer for Middle Tennessee and North Alabama. By InterSource. If it's entertainment, it's InterSource. By MTSU, named one of the best in the U.S. by the Princeton Review for a second year in a row. Become True Blue. By RJ Young, your go-to company for technology solutions that power your business. By Textbook Brokers and Lightning's Locker Room, the official game day provider powered by Textbook Brokers. And by State Farm agent Bud Morris. The Spring Sports Show is brought to you in part by Ascension St. Thomas, the official hospital partner of MTSU. By Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates, the #1 producing Exit Realty office in the United States. By Middle Tennessee Electric, your locally owned electric cooperative and trusted energy advisor. By the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, fans don't let fans drive drunk. By TOA, the official orthopedic coverage to Middle Tennessee Athletics. And by Roscoe Brown, the trusted name in heating, cooling, and plumbing. Welcome back into our Spring Sports Show presented by Kroger, and tonight we are talking, we started the first half hour talking Blue Raider softball. It's Blue Raider baseball now. Coach Jim Toman and starting pitcher Aaron Brown with us. And Jim, I mentioned roster management, and you talked a little bit about recruiting down the road. Kind of give us folks an overview of what it's like because you know, with the transfer portal, the expanded rosters, people getting an extra year, how has that?
Yeah.
That's one big bowl of
It's been
soup right
crazy
there.
for college baseball because everyone from last year's team got an extra year. We had anticipated about 15 to 18 of them graduating and being done. And then you have a bigger class the next year. Well, we've had to stop recruiting for the 21 class because a lot of these guys may come back. If they're not drafted and they have their 5th year of eligibility and they want to get their graduate degree, they're going to come back. So we started the fall with 49 guys, which is a big, big roster, and it's hard to manage.
But still 11.7 scholarships.
11.7 scholarships. And then we cut down to 43 players, which we have right now. Next year, the NCAA is going to allow you to have 40 players max in the spring. You can still have as many as you want in the fall, but it's still 11.7. They did up the 32 guys are allowed to be on some type of money instead of 27. But there's an awful lot of guys that are probably going to come back next year as 5th-year guys, and we're happy about that. But at the same token, a lot of schools around the country are so logjam with so many players that a lot of players are entering the transfer portal, and it's just a mess, right? It's a free-for-all right now to try to figure out your roster.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we are at the midway point of the Conference USA season, and it is time now to play How Well Do You Know Your Team? And how well do you know Blue Raider baseball? So look at the screen, Jim and Aaron. Let's see, in the rank of toughest schedules in the country, where does your schedule rank this year? Strength of schedule.
Oof.
Been pretty tough.
I do know last year's was 6th best in the country.
Okay.
But we played 17 games and then COVID shut us down. Right now,
There you go.
I haven't. Yeah, there you go. 6th best. There you go. I'm right.
Yeah. See?
I don't know what it is this year. Last year it was 6th best. So
There you
I
go.
like that.
All right, let's go. Next up. What is MTSU baseball's single game attendance record within 500?
Wow, it probably holds about 2,500, but let's say 3,000. So let's say 3,000. That way I get 2,500 or 3,500. 3,000.
What do you think?
No,
I know I was there that night.
What did I say? 3,000.
3,000, and that was
not
that was
bad.
before the new ballpark.
That was
3,020. So you only missed about 20.
17 years ago.
Yeah. How about that?
I was only 15.
It's amazing. Next up. How many players on the current roster are from the state of Tennessee?
Well, I'll let Aaron go, but I have an idea. I will tell you this. There's 43 players on our roster right now, and a lot of them are Tennessee boys, and we've got a lot of Tennessee recruits coming in.
So within 2, Aaron, out of 43 players, how many do you think are from the state?
We got some JUCO bandits from out of state, but 43.
I'm going to shoot with, I'm going to go 17.
17,
Probably
I think he's low.
It's higher than that. Yeah.
25 from the state of Tennessee.
And yeah, I want to recruit a lot of Tennessee kids like Aaron.
I hope you do get a lot like him.
Absolutely.
Okay, 2 more. First one, what's the MTSU team's single game home run record?
Coach Tillman's a home run guy, so
For a single game?
For a single game.
For one person or the whole team?
Team. How
The
many?
whole team. Someone's in a game. I would say MTSU has probably had a crazy wind blown, probably 7.
That's the number I was going to come up with.
I don't know.
You know what it was?
7 or 8.
Against
9.
Memphis.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether that was here or there, but 9.
Yeah. When that wind blows, you never know what can happen.
Yep.
So I figured
All right,
it'd be
last
a
one.
Pretty good number.
Aaron, how many innings pitched do you have this year within 5?
I believe it's 56.
Yeah.
You're within 5, but 54 and a third. 54 and a third. But it's nice to know when you put him out there on a Friday night, Jim, that you've got a great chance to get 7 innings at least out of him.
Absolutely. He's going to compete. He's going to throw strikes, and we're glad he's on our side.
All right, this weekend, Raiders are at home. What's the weather looking like? You're the schedule shuffler.
Yeah.
So
unfortunately, we were supposed to play at 6 o'clock Friday, and then a doubleheader at 1 Saturday, and then a game 1 o'clock Sunday. But it looks like we might have to move the game up, the doubleheader to Friday, because Saturday's rain. So we'll probably go doubleheader possibly on Friday, maybe about 2 o'clock.
Okay. All right. Well, Be sure to watch GoBlueRaiders.com. They'll have all the updated information there, and also the MT_baseball Twitter account. That's where you can find it all, guys. Good luck second half of the conference race, and
Thank you.
let's go get them.
Yes,
Thanks,
sir.
Chet.
Appreciate it.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. Thank you for being here. We'll be off next week, but then 2 weeks from tonight, we'll be talking Blue Raider football with Coach Rick Stockstill, Coach Scott Schaefer, and also Coach Brent Dearman will be here. But for all of us here, thanks for being with us. Good night, and be loud, be proud, and be blue.